and to all our Armed Forces community in Lincolnshire, happy Armed Forces Week and Day!
Batul, what is your role within LCVS and why are you so passionate about the Armed Forces Covenant?
So my role at Lincolnshire CVS and the VCS partnership is strategic lead for thriving communities and inclusive growth. And what that means is that we want to encourage everybody to contribute to and benefit from growth. And as the VCSE, we need to have a seat at the table of all this just beautiful strategic work that's happening across Lincolnshire. And I have a personal interest in investing in what we do with our Armed Forces community, because my brother was in the RAF for many years and he's a lot older than me and had a big part in my upbringing. And I know what I went through in terms of missing my brother when he was over in the Ascension Islands or in the Falklands or in Germany or Cyprus or wherever he was. And it is very different when you come from the Armed Forces community. And so me making an investment in my role to support that community within the voluntary community sector is absolutely important.
What does LCVS do to support the Armed Forces veterans and the Armed Forces community across Lincolnshire?
Well, first of all, we are a Silver Defence Employer Recognition Scheme, so we guarantee an interview to veterans and those from Armed Forces community when there are jobs available here. And we have a lot of Armed Forces veterans who come to us for support to get into volunteering opportunities. And I know through our social prescribing service as well that we've had a number of veterans and people from the Armed Forces community and partners of serving personnel come to us for that support. So in terms of our service, we do a lot. We could do more and we want to do more in terms of encouraging those very skilled veterans to come and work in the volunteering community sector. But we also want to support the strategy uses that the Armed Forces Covenant has around housing, health and education too. And that's why I now sit on the Armed Forces Covenant Partnership Board for Lincolnshire, and I'm supporting writing the aims, objectives and strategy to the Task and Finish group. So yeah, that's what we do here at LCVS.
Just like to take this opportunity to say Happy Armed Forces Day and Armed Forces Week to all the serving personnel and veterans and military communities across Lincolnshire.
Sonia, tell us about your role and progression at LCVS.
So my current position is the strategic lead for social prescribing within Lincolnshire Community and Voluntary Service and in partnership with Voluntary Centre Services. I came to LCVS in 2019. Prior to that, I served 28 years in the Royal Military Police. Throughout that time, when I came into LCVS, I was a social prescribing link worker, and I've progressed to strategic lead. An opportunity came up for promotion. I was successful in my application, and for the last 2.5 years, I have led a team of social prescribing link workers. Currently we have 44 in total, working right across Lincolnshire. A number of those link workers have forces connection. They've either served themselves or they're related to or have a strong connection to people within the armed forces.
What do you do in your role to champion the armed forces?
As a former member of the armed forces, I'm still very passionate about serving our armed forces community within Lincolnshire, whether they be veterans or current serving personnel. Anybody who comes into the organisation from an armed forces background, whether it be serving a veteran or perhaps related to somebody in the military, to me they bring a very unique skill set. They have transferable skills and have a wealth of understanding and knowledge about service life and the culture within the forces. Within the military, you very much centre around the values of what the armed forces is about, and we want to bring those values into our organisation.
Tell me about how the social prescribing team you lead help those from armed forces backgrounds in the community.
So the social prescribing service operates throughout Lincolnshire. helping connect lonely, vulnerable and isolated people to connect to their communities. For whatever reason, they're unable to do that themselves and they need that little bit of help and support. Some of the participants that are referred into us are veterans, ex-forces. So because we have a number of link workers who have a forces background, we utilise them, we use their skill set, their understanding of service life and the culture to help that individual to interact with their community. It's about understanding them really. So if a case came in and it was an ex-forces personnel, we'd use one of the link workers as a champion to help support them the best they possibly can in connecting to the community.
Happy Armed Forces Day and Week from Lincolnshire Community and Voluntary Services. My parents were both in the RAF. I then left school and joined the RAF along with my brother and my sister. I spent 8 years working in catering in the Royal Air Force, doing military functions, important things, working out in the field, cooking in tents, those sorts of things. I married an RAF serviceman and together we had 2 children. And I then worked for Job Centre Plus, which led to my passion in helping and supporting vulnerable people, and combined with my experiences in the services, I found it useful in relating and empathising to some of the challenges that it brings with a service lifestyle. Okay, so I've worked for LCVS for just over 3 years now. I work locally in the community. Lincolnshire is quite an RAF heavy county. People tend to leave the services and retire here. Sometimes they can have issues with finding work, bereavement, perhaps life-changing diagnoses where they have to look at living independently via a different means. And together I've built connections with the RAF Benevolent Fund and the Armed Forces community, the local breakfast club, the local camaraderie club, in order to try and knit these things together to support our veterans.
I've only been here 3 weeks and I've been made to feel as a real member and valued member of the team, and I found everybody supportive and encouraging. All the staff I have met are enthusiastic and motivated in their roles, and this is quite infectious and a real pleasure to see. The induction is and has been very informative and at a pace that I feel I'm absorbing the information as opposed to just reading or hearing it. I feel the organisation is doing for its staff what the staff do for their participants, and that is all about well-being. I'm known as an army brat. My father was a soldier, so I grew up in the army. Equally, my son was an army brat, and he is currently a serving officer. I joined the army when I was 16 and retired at 60, so 44 years of service. I have had a very varied and interesting career. The latter 28 years as a warrant officer, so along with the day-to-day military activities and delivering training, I was also responsible for the well-being, not that it was known as that in my early career, of the soldiers under my command. This has included dealing with divorce, bereavement, financial issues, children's services, domestic abuse, mental health, to mention a few. With the tools and experience I've mentioned, I can bring with me the ethos of the military values and standards. To mention a few: respect for others, integrity, i.e. being honest at all times, to all parties, selflessness to participant and to the organisation.
Happy Armed Forces Day to all our Armed Forces community in Lincolnshire. We hope you have a wonderful celebration, and hear from everybody at LCVS. We will continue to support the fabulous work that happens here in Lincolnshire for all our Armed Forces.